I make $25,000 a month from probably the most unconventional social media strategy that I know of. And in this video, I'm going to map out everything that I do so that you can just steal it and use it for yourself. I'm first going to talk about what the standard method is that you have probably seen and been led to believe that is the way you're supposed to do it. We're going to talk about what the standard kind of social media method is. Then I'm going to talk about what I have done to get to $25,000 a month without doing any of the standard stuff. Again, this is a very unconventional method, but it works. And it's not just for me. It doesn't just work for me. It works across the board for everybody if you do it right, which I'm going to show you how. And then part 3, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing in the future, because I am changing things up a little bit because I treat my entire business like an experiment, which I highly recommend that you do the same. It takes the pressure off. If it's just an experiment, if it doesn't work, fine. You just change it and do something else. If it does work, you double down and triple down on because it's proven. So that's the method that I take. So first, what is the method, the strategy that most people say to do? Most people say that when it comes to social media, if you want to make money, you need to do 2 things. First, you have to really grow large. So think like mile wide, inch deep. What you're going after are views, clicks, and follows. You want a lot of people watching. You want a lot of people clicking to watch or clicking to subscribe. And you want a lot of people following and sharing you, engagement. And if you get enough of that on any one platform, then you can monetize that with sponsored posts, ad revenue, maybe affiliate commissions, but it's going to be a long road unless you just break through and get kind of lucky and build a large following. So you want to build a large following somewhere. This is the standard method that I don't actually do because I don't have to and I don't really want to. So you build a large following. And the second part of this is that you try to be everywhere. So this method says that you've got to really just kind of be present on every platform. I heard Gary Vee say this a few years ago where he said, just be everywhere. If there's a new social media platform that comes out, you have to jump on it and you have to be on it and you have to be active and you just got to put out the volume. Again, this is the standard advice. You got to be everywhere. You got to grow large. And then if you do that consistently enough, you will be able to monetize that audience just by virtue of the fact that you have eyeballs that are looking at your content. Now, why do I not like this? Well, I don't like it because it's really hard for most people to do. Most people do not grow large on social media. The people who grow large are the ones that we see because they break through. The algorithm is showing you those videos and those people. But the average creator does not grow large. So there has to be something that works even if you don't grow large. There has to be something that works even if you don't have a massive following and you can monetize it in little tiny bits and pieces, which is what ad revenue is. It's a little bit per view, but if you add that up over millions of views, it can make you a lot of money. The problem is most people never get there. So that doesn't work for most people. So then most people kind of put their feet in the water, get discouraged, and back out. That's not anything I've ever wanted. And it discouraged me from really even trying at first because I thought, this is not really fun. It's a lot of work. And it doesn't seem like this is going to pay off unless I just completely make it my life. Which is why one of the things that I do now is that I show people you can build a business that replaces your income without hustle and grind. What does that mean? Hustle is this idea that you're always on, you're always working. You can't ever have a moment that's just yours because it's content. You got to take the picture, you got to take the video, you got to upload the reel. That's a hustle. And then the grind is just you're constantly working towards a goal that you're never going to actually achieve, just grinding and grinding away. And you got to build a large following. I don't want you to have to do any of that, but that is the standard thing that most people say that you have to do. So that's why I got incredibly focused on figuring out, is there a way where you don't have to do that? because I don't want to do that. I don't even know if I'm talented enough to do that. And now that I teach other people how to do this, I don't want to have to teach that. One, because I've never done it, and two, because it's not necessary and it's really freaking hard. And most people don't want that kind of life. I'll just be honest. I want to make a lot of money and not be tied to my work 24/7. Okay, to me, that's like having a job. And I did a lot of work to not have a job and not have a boss and not have a schedule. I don't want to go back to being bound to a job. The influencer model, which is what I'm describing, that's like having a job, and I don't want that. That is the method that people say to do. Second part of this video, I want to talk about what I have done. What have I done differently? What I have done is I have first picked one primary platform. For me, it ended up being YouTube, and I experimented with a lot of different things before I kind of landed on YouTube. But I ended up on YouTube for the primary reason that when people go to YouTube, they are searching for answers to their questions and solutions to their problems. YouTube is a search engine. So they're going to YouTube and they're putting things in the search. They're saying, how do I do this? What is the answer to this question? I want to learn this skill. Is it possible for me to do this? They're actively looking for content to help them do the thing that they're trying to learn how to do, figure out, answer, solve. So knowing that, what I decided to do was I said, what if instead of trying to grow large, okay, mile wide, inch deep, what if I went an inch wide, but a mile deep? In other words, what if I really hone in on one specific niche and drill down on it in every single possible way that I could, from every angle that I could imagine, so that anytime somebody goes to YouTube, I end up on the other side of their search. And so for me, that topic was preaching. I was a pastor. I started a business called Preaching Donkey. I was helping pastors preach with confidence and clarity. And every week for years, and sometimes multiple times a week for years, I would go to YouTube and I would upload videos hitting preaching from every angle that I could. How to make an outline, how to come up with sermon ideas, how to evaluate a sermon, how to preach well, how to not stutter, how to do this. Every possible thing that I could imagine, someone going to YouTube who's writing a sermon, a pastor, goes to YouTube, puts in, I need sermon ideas, I need illustration ideas, how do I outline? I wanted to be on the other side of those searches over and over and over and over and over again. And guess what? I was. And then from there, what makes the money for me is not ad revenue on YouTube, because again, I don't have the views for that and I don't have the subscribers, and like it's too targeted for me to have that. But in every single piece of content, I am inviting people to take the next step with me. I'm saying, if you want to go deeper with me, grab my free guide. That's called a lead magnet. At Preaching Donkey, it was a 21-day guide to creating killer sermons. It was just a simple step-by-step guide to help them improve their preaching. If they downloaded that guide, in order to get it, they had to give me their email address. Once I have their email address, from there, Kajabi, my software system, takes over and offers them my paid products. Well, if you multiply that over hundreds of people, not thousands, not millions, just hundreds of people a month who are coming and watching these videos, getting the lead magnet, going through the email funnel, being offered the courses, it starts to make a substantial, consistent amount of money. And so to do this, I couldn't be everywhere. The reason why I couldn't be everywhere is I was doing this on the side. I had a job. I was doing this as a side gig. So when I would hear people say, be everywhere, it was actually kind of discouraging, because I was like, I can't be everywhere. I have to be at my job. I have to be at my house. I have 4 kids. I have a dog. I have a wife. I have stuff to do. I can't just be everywhere online. I would just never do anything else besides this. And what I found is that if I just focused on YouTube and putting the best content consistently out that would just kind of reach out and pull in my target people, then I could win. Now, I did the same thing with this business. I started a personal brand, helping people start businesses, teaching their skills and knowledge and expertise, where I get on YouTube every single week or sometimes multiple times a week, and I anticipate what are people going to ask about online business. And I want to be on the other side of those searches. And for me, where I really narrow down is a tool called Kajabi, where I can help people who are using Kajabi, which is an all-in-one business platform. It's an all-in-one software that runs your online business. I want to be on the other side of those searches over and over and over again. And I also want to be on the other side of the searches where people are going to YouTube and saying, how do I make money online, selling courses, having membership sites, that kind of thing. And so I'm not trying to be everywhere. I'm just on one platform speaking to one specific type of person who has a very specific goal they're going after. At Preaching Donkey, it's the goal of preaching with confidence and clarity. And here at my personal brand, it's the goal of replacing your 9-to-5 income with a thriving online business. Which, by the way, if that's you, if you're looking to replace your 9-to-5 income with a thriving online business, the first step to doing that is to get my free guide. Go to lanesebring.com/super simple, and you can pick up my free super simple guide to your first $500 online. This is the exact path that I used, the exact steps that I took to build my multiple six-figure online business. And I will show you step by step how to get started to make that first $500. Because if you can make 500, you can make 50,000. And if you can make 50,000, you can make 500,000. You just have to know where to start. And that's what this guide's going to do. lanesebring.com/super simple. So you see what I just did there? This is a targeted piece of content, right? It's on YouTube, most likely. That's where you're watching this. And I'm talking about building a social media strategy. And I'm using my method. I'm showing you my method, and I'm using my method. Because what's my method? My method is to target the people who I'm going after, which is you, the person who's trying to make money online and trying to make sense of how all this stuff works. And I'm telling you the way I do it, and then I'm offering you a way to go deeper with me. And in this case, it's my super simple guide. So if you go to lanesebring.com/super simple, in order to get that guide, you have to put in your email address, which is going to help me serve you at an even deeper level. And yes, eventually offer you a paid product that will help you at an even deeper level, that will solve your problem in a supercharged way. That method over the last few years has taken my business from this little side hustle that was making me a couple thousand a month to a full-fledged business, which is making $25,000 a month presently. And all I've done is repeat this process over and over again with a video every single week on this platform. And here's the thing, I've coached hundreds of people through this process. Not everybody chooses YouTube. Some people choose other platforms depending on where their people hang out. However, I do think for a lot of people, YouTube makes sense for all the reasons that I just articulated. But I've helped a lot of people use this exact same method to grow their business using YouTube to drive people to their email list, through their funnel, and into their products. And so this is where I'm going next, because you might be saying, okay, what about all the other social media platforms? What do you do with those? Well, what I've been doing to this point is, instead of trying to be everywhere, I've just decided I'm going to primarily be on YouTube, and then I'm going to share this content in a couple other places. And so far, that's basically just been Facebook, which I know is super old school, but I had a couple of Facebook groups connected to my audience. And so I would just share the links there, and a little bit on Instagram, and that was it. Here and there, I experimented with TikTok and doing Instagram Reels and a little bit of YouTube Shorts and things like that, but nothing consistently yet, because I was wanting to double and triple down on this, because this was working and it continues to work. So what am I doing in the future that's different? Well, in the future, and I've started this process, is I'm looking at how can I be everywhere now that this is my full-time gig, and it has actually been my full-time gig for 4 years. It's just that it's been a lot to build over these 4 years, and so I didn't have unlimited time, but now I have some time to dedicate to broadening my reach a little bit. So I'm still doing YouTube because that is my bread and butter. YouTube to the lead magnet, into the email funnel, to the offer. That works every day of the week and twice on Sunday, as they say. But right now, what I'm trying to figure out is, what does this look like to broaden this out to other platforms so that I am not just limited to the people that are coming on YouTube? So I have some automation tools that take my long form video, and which is what you're watching right now, 16:9 long form YouTube video, and makes a bunch, like from every one of these videos, they can make a bunch of vertical videos that go out to TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn, and X or Twitter. Those other platforms now, I'm on them and I'm trying to figure out what does it look like for me in terms of a posting schedule just to get some presence on those platforms and build up a backlog of content to catch those people. But again, my strategy before I got to trying to be everywhere, I really just completely neglected and rejected the entire model that's out there because I'm not an influencer. I'm a thought leader. Here's the difference. Influencers rely on clicks and follows and views to make money. They have to build a large audience or it doesn't work. Thought leaders focus on one specific niche, one specific type of person that they are trying to help. And their content is targeted. It's helpful, consistent, relevant, targeted content for those people. And because it's targeted, their audience doesn't have to be large if they know how to bring them into their email list and offer them their paid products. And they have the right offers at the right time for the right people. And I teach people how to do all that on this channel and in my courses. And of course, in the Super Simple Guide, which you have at lanesebring.com/supersimple. So that has been my method, and I saw no reason to go try to be an influencer when that's not really what I do. I'm a thought leader. So if you are tired of this model where you look at people and you think, do I have to do that? Do I have to be an influencer where I have to make this my entire life? Or is there a model where this can be a true business where I am helping people with content, people who are serious about learning the thing that I teach? I'm meeting them where they are with consistent, helpful, relevant content, and then inviting them to go deeper with me if they want to. And I don't have to be an influencer to do that. I can be a thought leader in my niche. If that fires you up, then you are my people. Like you are in the right place. First thing you need to do is subscribe. Second thing you need to do is get that Super Simple Guide. And if you're interested in this type of business, I want to show you what it looks like to build this out over a 3-month period to get to 6 figures. And I'm going to show you how to do that in this video right here. 3 months to 6 figures. Click right there and I'll see you in that video.